Regardless of what you may have read in the tabloids, there have never been any spacecraft recovered by our government.
Excuse me, Mr. President. That's not entirely accurate.
Katrina Porter.
Anna Serene.
I didn't have anything else.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
It sounded like a question.
Hey, welcome to Split Happens, everyone.
Welcome, everybody.
Each episode, Katrina and I talk about a movie that both of us love. However, only one of us is going to be allowed to defend it, say nice things about the movie.
Mm-hmm. That's what defending means.
As the pro,
Mm-hmm.
which is me. Of course, that means that the other person is the con, and they have to attack it. They can't say one nice thing about it. And that is Katrina.
And I'm going to attack this movie like a gaggle of aliens who apparently don't know Morse code, but have super, super, super advanced space equipment.
Wow, you're coming out hot.
Guns a-blazing.
Oh, no.
I got my fat lady singing cigar.
Well, if you've got fat ladies and cigars, aliens who don't know Morse code, well, that can only mean we're talking about
Independence Day.
ID4, as it's also known.
Who is that what it's known as?
Yes.
According to?
I think they shortened it because it was way easier and it looked cool.
We're so fucking lazy.
Yeah. We have 3 rules that Katrina and I must follow. Number 1, whoever claims pro first on a movie we haven't covered yet gets it. We might be changing that.
Yeah, we're evolving.
Yeah, we're going to think about it. Number 2, the con does not have to attack until the synopsis starts.
Appreciate that.
You got it. And number 3, during the synopsis, the con cannot say anything nice about the movie. And if they do, we have a penalty. You're going to know that the rule has been broken because you'll hear this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Our penalty is that the offender has to say a nice thing about a movie they really don't want to say anything nice about because it's the movie that they hate the most.
Mm-hmm.
The movie I hate the most is the remake of Clash of the Titans. Yeah.
The one I hate the most is Anthony Hopkins' biggest regret. And he's an alcoholic in recovery. But I think his biggest regret is still doing Hannibal.
God damn, you went dark. I bet there's people out here that listen to us that actually like the movie Hannibal, that actually like the movie Clash of the Titans. I can't imagine such a thing.
But they can let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll laugh.
That's your face.
It's like an Anchorman. I wrote it down. I laughed at it later. I am really excited to go over Independence Day because we're going to be releasing this close to Independence Day.
This is going to be fun. I love this movie. When I was doing my notes as the con, it reaffirmed that I still love this movie and also that there are plenty of things to say that are legitimately bad about it. Like legit.
Well, we'll get to that in just a second.
How many times do you think we have to pause to make weird old lady noises? Like, eh.
Many.
Many.
Many, many times.
You do all the editing so you know how many we don't miss.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. I want to go over a couple of things before we even get into the movie.
Well, you know something that I think we should get into before the movie?
What?
What are we drinking tonight?
The alcohol.
Yeah, fuck you, Tornado. You couldn't take us down forever.
We only paused for Anchorman. Take that, alcoholism. Wait, what?
No.
We can't keep putting this on Twister. We get drunk in many of the episodes and obliterated in a few.
2. We got obliterated in 2.
3. Uh-huh.
Practical Magic.
Yeah.
Twister.
Uh-huh.
What's the third one?
The Crow.
Oh.
Well, all I know is that we have fixed the glitch.
We back on the sauce, bitches.
What is up? Oh, thank God. I am parched. I really am. I might have to edit out some more old lady noises.
That's why you've got that water on your table. You're like, I am parched. Better put my hand right past that water glass.
To my wine.
Wine.
Before we get into the movie, can I just go over a couple of things? Because I have something huge to celebrate.
Yeah, you do. And my heart could not be fuller in happiness for you.
The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I just...
Landeskog is such a great player, and he's so hot that you take a pause on your hatred of gingers.
I do.
To celebrate Landeskog.
I don't hate gingers. They don't have souls. So I fear them, not loathe them. I love gingers. I just pity them because they are without a soul.
Okay, so we've alienated Germany by our shitty accents.
Probably Canada because of hockey.
Oh, yeah, and also probably any accent that we did during Super Troopers.
Ooh.
Any updates we need to give before you give some factoids?
There is one more thing I
Okay.
want to talk about. We got a comment on one of the sites or one of the streaming services that we have our podcast from Patty.
What did Patty have to say?
She said one of us sounds like Sally Field.
Well, that is a wicked kind compliment.
You know what's funny is I think I did a Sally Field impression in Steel Magnolias.
You did, and she does not sound like that.
I want to know why. Well, thank you, Patty.
Yeah, thanks, Patty. It's super flattering when people comment, especially when it's something nice.
Hey, can I give one more thank you?
Yeah.
I know we've already talked about him, but oh man. You know who is incredibly freaking good at guessing our chapter titles?
Is it Doug from Iowa?
It is Doug from Iowa. I'm so delighted every time I see his name show up amongst the people that are guessing the titles.
It's not just that he guesses the titles; it's that he comments about something about the movie, which I love. Like when he's watched it or he liked it. Doug is awesome.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little bit about the movie.
Okay.
Independence Day. Independence Day was released in 1996. The director of Independence Day is Roland Emmerich, and the writer is Dean Devlin. Both had done work prior to this, but they're probably best well known because they did Stargate. Roland, the director, said he found out they were making a prison escape movie starring Harrison Ford for $70 million, and he was like, $70 million? I've always wanted to make an alien movie, and I could definitely make it for that amount. And he says he thought of the movie after reading War of the Worlds. However, Dean Devlin says that they were doing like a press junket for Stargate. Mm-hmm. And a reporter said, "Do you really believe the aliens built the pyramids?" And they're like, "No." But then Roland interrupted and said, "Yeah, but wouldn't it be the most exciting day ever if we woke up and there were like 14-mile wide spaceships covering the sky?" They said that they wrote the script in 3.5 weeks and that it never changed. Not one word. That's actually not accurate because I can tell you later. But for the most part, they wrote that script and then kept it pretty much as is.
You know what the lesson is?
What?
Maybe if you write a script in 3.5 weeks, you should revisit it.
What? You're insane. They decided to go ahead and see if they could auction it. Dean Devlin said that back in that day, there were 9 major studios and all of them were bidding on the script. But ultimately, Fox won out on that. Independence Day debuted on July 3rd, 1996. It would have been later, but Roland, the director, found out that another alien movie, Tim Burton's Mars Attacks, which I think I love more than you.
Correct.
Probably most of his movies. I really like them because they're weird.
I think Mars Attacks is one that I need to revisit because I think when I watched it was in my real tight-ass phase.
Tim Burton's Mars Attacks was slated for an August release.
Okay.
But Roland felt there was only enough room for one alien movie to come out, and that's why the movie is actually called Independence Day, because they needed a way to tie it in to that specific date so that they could beat Tim Burton to the punch.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't originally called that. It was called something else.
Oh, wait, I got it in my notes. Alien Garbage.
Alien Garbage?
That's what it was originally called.
You're out of your mind.
It was called Alien Nonsense, and will hear nothing else.
It was called something really dumb. Something like like depressing.
The aliens almost killed us, but thank God for Morse code.
But one word.
Oops.
Independence Day had a budget of $75 million and ended up grossing $817 million. Mars Attacks, on the other hand, had the same budget and it only grossed $100 million worldwide, and they actually ended up pushing their release date to like December for a Christmas release because it would have been too close to the other one.
Okay, but they still made money.
Oh, that's worldwide. That's their entire gross.
Worldwide, wide.
Synergy. Innovation. Independence Day was an instant hit. It became the second highest grossing movie of that time. Second only to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Love so much.
Well, Jurassic Park, of course, also starred Jeff Goldblum. He was Goldblum.
Listen, I'll say this. I was going to say this later, but I just realized I could say it now and not risk the red button at all. Young Jeff Goldblum could get it.
I love
What a nerd snack he is.
Oof.
It doesn't make any sense really either.
They ran a teaser trailer during the Super Bowl
Okay.
for this movie, and which was brilliant. And I know you were doing the math.
Uh-huh.
That was a full 6 months before the movie came out.
Right, exactly.
So that's a long ways away.
Uh-huh.
And I watched it. It's so brilliant. It's like July 2nd, they arrive. And it shows them. July 3rd, they attack. And then it goes, July 4th is... And then it shows the fucking White House being blown up. And it just goes to black and it just goes, Independence Day. Enjoy the Super Bowl. The distributor at Fox did not quite agree that was going to be such a good idea. And they're like, you can't actually blow up the White House in a TV spot. And the director's like, why? And Fox was like, well, because a year ago in Oklahoma City, there was an anti-government like extremist detonating a bomb, in like a federal building, killing a bunch of people. And it could be seen as like insensitive. And then Roland said, yeah, but that wasn't done by aliens. Is there anything that you want to say before we get into the synopsis?
I think the most important thing I needed to say was how hot Jeff Goldblum is. And I already said it, so I'm good. Play the fucking song.
You ready?
Yep.
You sure?
Do it.
Let the games begin.
Independence Day. We begin on July 2nd with the American flag that was planted on the moon.
I have a question.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Are we to believe that those footprints and that American flag have remained on the moon since 1969?
I have an answer.
Okay.
No. Because everybody knows that the moon landing was fake because there's no air in space, and how would the flag be waving?
I'm not going to say who it is,
Uh-huh.
but I have a good friend who's incredibly smart.
Yes.
Who believes the moon landing was fake.
Are you fucking serious? I was kidding. I was being sarcastic, people. I think that the moon landing hoax is incredibly stupid because I believe science. Actually, I believe anything. Or at least I used to. Anyway, a huge spaceship is coming towards Earth. And that's not good.
They're already using words I don't understand, which I don't appreciate.
Space?
I understand space.
Aliens?
No, they're using all like bunch of 12-syllable words. You know how I am.
I do know how you are. We see President Thomas Whitmore, and he is played by a very much still alive Bill Pullman.
Paxton.
Bill Pullman, who is definitely alive.
This fucker can survive tornadoes, aliens.
I think he's wonderful in this. Originally, they had Kevin Spacey in mind to play this.
Who I think would have been good. I didn't know that, but
He had just done The Usual Suspects. And I think he was like a high school friend of either the director or the writer.
we have Usual Suspects. It's
Yeah.
mine.
We have a ton of Kevin Spacey movies.
Well, he's a great actor.
Yep. Sometimes garbage acts well. He had just done The Usual Suspects, and at that time, the president was written more of like a villain character. But the studio didn't want him. Which is weird, because they were like, you know, he would be really cheap. We can probably get him for like $200,000 or something like that. You know, next, he's like, he's going to win an Oscar, and then we won't be able to afford him at all. And the studio was like, he will never win an Oscar, is what they said.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he did. The studio didn't want him, so when they cast Bill Pullman, they rewrote it to fit him better. I can't even imagine Bill Pullman as a villain.
No.
No. We learned that the president's approval ratings are shit because people think he's kind of a puss. I think they don't like him because he compromises too much and he seems a little too idealistic. So I guess 100% he's a Democrat, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is one of the 1,000,000th time they mention how honest he is, and that he's a fighter pilot, and that he's honest, and that he's a fighter pilot.
Yeah,
they mention it all through this movie.
That seems like significant things that I would want brought up if I were honest and a fighter pilot.
Who is this buzzkill ruining his breakfast?
Fighter pilot.
Fighter pilot.
Did I say that right?
Fighter pilot?
It sounds wrong.
No, it's fighter pilot.
It's the T's and the L's that are getting me confused.
Fighter pilot?
I'm getting flummoxed.
Wait. Is it flummoxed or flummoxed?
Flummoxed.
It's flummoxed. Flummoxed?
Flummoxed. I know, flummoxed is more, that sounds more correct.
Yeah, but it's not what you said.
It isn't?
No, you said...
No, I said flummoxed.
No, Jose, rewind. You said flummoxed.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I don't think I said that.
Okay.
It's the T's and the L's that are getting me confused.
Fighter pilot?
I'm getting flummoxed. Okay, maybe I said that. Words, am I right? We learned... Oh, shit, I almost said the same fucking thing. We learned that the president's approval ratings are shit.
Is this the part where they mention that he's a fighter pilot and that he's honest?
Again, it doesn't sound right when you're saying it. I'll move on. The president's daughter is played by Mae Whitman, and she's really funny on Arrested Development.
And as an actress in general,
yes,
she's a cutie patootie.
She is a
and
cutie.
That's what I'll say.
Oh, not in this particular movie?
Just in general?
I love her most in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World because she's one of the evil exes.
I think she's great in that as well.
She is a riot in that. Prepare to die, obviously. Judd Hirsch and Jeff Goldblum are father and son, and they are playing chess in the park.
Question.
Yo.
I've watched Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
This is not how people play chess. They're not supposed to be busting each other's balls.
What? Are you insane?
It's like quiet and boring.
Have you ever seen people play chess in the park? It is a bloodbath.
No, I don't live in a movie where that happens.
That actually happens in city parks.
When have you seen somebody play chess in a park?
In this movie. That absolutely happens. God, I feel like our small town is showing it. They absolutely do that in like bigger cities.
There's no place that has parks that big.
They absolutely do. And I've heard it's like dog fighting. It's just anarchy. I should mention that Jeff Goldblum's name is David Levinson. He is a satellite tech, and that might be the last time I actually call him by his name David in this because it's just easier for me to say Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, everyone knows what we're talking about.
Oh, thank God.
No one wants to hear David.
Okay, so everybody, when you hear Jeff Goldblum, he's actually David Levinson. His dad is Judd Hirsch in this, and they actually had to age him up because he was not that much older than Jeff Goldblum.
I wondered about that.
They had to, it was funny is they had to give him like gray hair and like liver spots and stuff, and it really like totally bummed him out because he was like looking in the mirror thinking, oh fuck, this is what I'm gonna look like.
Girl, I get it.
And he's like, I'm looking at my future, and that was not fun. Jeff Goldblum is actually the only one that Roland, the director, and Dean, the writer, had in mind when they wrote the script. They insisted on another actor be in this movie, like later on, but I'll get to him in a sec.
Okay.
we see Harvey Fierstein, and he tells Jeff Goldblum that there's some alien sounds going on. Do you have something to say about Harvey Fierstein?
No, absolutely not.
Fucking love him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do I want every gay in the world chasing me around saying you dumb hag?
I do.
And also, no, I don't have anything bad to say, but I think he's delightful in general. Not in this movie.
Ooh.
In general. In general.
That was close.
I think Harvey Fierstein is great in general.
What do you think about him in this movie?
He's a bit much. And that's what I think. With my honest face. And my honest words.
Does it hurt when lies come out of your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
3 teenage-ish kids are in an RV. I think kind of in the deserty area. So I'm guessing New Mexico, Arizona-ish, somewhere in there. We should know this better because we've lived in both states.
I think it must be near New Mexico because they're close to Roswell.
Right. Okay, well, that's where they are. And their dad is the walking car crash of a human, Randy Quaid.
Now we have garbage Randy Quaid and low rent Keanu Reeves.
Oh, ouch.
I mean, come on. That's clearly who that kid is trying to be.
Randy Quaid plays Russell, and he is a dumb, drunk, harmless asshole. And he is doing a shit job as a crop dusting pilot.
So basically, no acting at all was required on his part.
You know, I read in one thing that people absolutely loved him on set. It's just that his wife, which he has vehemently denied, of course, but they were saying that his wife was the one that was problematic and would cause so much trouble, but that he was just a lovely human.
I do not believe that at all.
Really?
No.
I do.
Given everything we know about him now?
Yeah. Some people can just go astray.
That's true.
The alien spaceships are undocking from the mothership, and it still looks cool as hell, and I think it holds up really, really well.
I like low rank Keanu Reeves is like, is it possible it'll miss us? No, you fucking idiot. It's not possible.
Maybe. I don't know. He's concerned. He's got to go surf some sweet waves.
In the desert?
Yeah.
God, Dad, you got the wrong field. Ugh.
Dad. Sorry.
Okay, so now we have to apologize to Keanu Reeves for our dumb impersonation.
I apologize, Keanu Reeves. My God, talk about a good fucking human. The ships show up in the sky all over the world in major cities, and there are 36 of them, and they're like 15 miles wide in width. They're wide in width. Yeah. And I think that people probably aren't nearly as panicked as they should be.
I have all of these experts look completely put out about the flying shit, and no one seems to know what the other people know. Like, no one's coordinating anything, and then also, literally every time I hear the word intelligence in a movie, I think of Team America and think, that is affirmative. But, like, the president doesn't seem to know. Like, the president is hearing news on the president's getting updates on the news.
Katrina.
What?
This was 1996. The olden days. We didn't have smartphones. We had pagers.
This movie came out in, what did you say, 1996?
I did.
Okay, and we landed on the moon, 27 years prior, and you're telling me...
Allegedly.
The plane is flying into the unknown, and it flies right into a gigantic firestorm. You don't see a giant firestorm on a radar?
There was smoke.
You don't see smoke on a radar?
There was limited visibility.
On a radar?
It was jammed. Raspberries.
This isn't Spaceballs.
The president decides the best course of action is just to not do shit and hope for the best. Again, that probably means he's a Democrat.
Well, and no one's like, who decides that the president is just going to stay in the White House?
He does.
But I think in this moment, the president doesn't get to decide that.
What? What do you mean? The president's the top of the chain.
No, somebody has to be like, sorry, President, the person who rules our country.
Yeah.
We need to get you the fuck out of here because there's literally a spaceship right above us.
Sure, but he is a pilot. You don't know that yet.
We do because they've already mentioned it 12 times. He's a fighter pilot.
I don't think they did. But he is a pilot. I'm just letting you know.
And really honest.
And he's very honest.
And pretty wishy-washy.
He's a little
Democrat.
Oh, weak in the knees.
We can make fun of Democrats since we are Democrats.
Yeah, we can make fun of who the fuck we want.
It's all true.
I don't give a shit. You can go on the internet and complain about it if you don't like it. He wants to, it's a good goddamn thing that he stayed put, because the other people, you know, the vice president and the speaker of the house, and I don't know who else they had, but they all got blown up.
Donkey.
Yeah.
That happened because they all left too late. Like, the one helicopter carrying the president and Jeff Goldblum and his dad, who wasn't really that old, and the buzzkill lady who Jeff Goldblum was married to, and the kid, and that Secretary of Defense who seems to be the voice of reason a lot.
He's a douche.
No, right. Not the douche, the other guy.
Yeah.
Who probably should be the
Robert
Secretary.
Loggia.
Yeah. Okay, there's that helicopter, and then shortly after it is everyone else, and they get blown up because they don't get the fuck out of there too soon.
Well, yeah, they get blown up, but like they send the vice president and all that. He's like, send them all over there. And then that is the wrong thing. That's where they wanted the president to go, was this other bunker area. And that was the wrong decision. They are dead. Dead.
I think I'm right about this, actually. I think there were 2 helicopters.
There was.
Okay.
They didn't have the vice president on it.
Uh-huh. It had all the rest of the staff.
Right.
Okay.
Jeff Goldblum, aka David, figures out that the signal that Harvey Fierstein was yipping about is a countdown.
You said yipping. I didn't say yipping.
I did say it.
Okay.
I stand by that.
All right.
I love him. But it was a yip. Uh-oh, Randy Quaid's character, Russell, apparently told everyone years ago that he's been abducted by aliens, which the townsfolk think is hilarious.
What's the fire cloud stuff?
Fire cloud?
There's all these fucking fire clouds all over the place.
Is this really a take of yours?
Yeah.
There's aliens afoot. There's aliens afloat.
Okay, but then also there's aliens afoot. Who in their right mind lets the president stand on the balcony like Ty checking out a tornado 4 minutes away? Like, ooh, look up there.
He was curious. He's the leader of the free world. He can do that.
God.
I know. If you don't like it, go on the internet and complain about it. Will Smith and Vivica A. Fox are in bed, and they are being woken by a super cute little boy, which is her son in the movie.
Do you know who else he played?
I couldn't think of who.
Buckwheat in the Little Rascals remake.
Oh, God damn, he's a cute kid.
He is cute in general.
Yeah.
In general, I think he's really cute.
Well, Will Smith is Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller, and he wants to be an astronaut when he grows up. Mm-hmm. Roland, the director, and Dean, the writer, specifically wanted to cast a black actor in the role. And they had just seen Will Smith in 6 Degrees of Separation, and they wanted him. But the studio was really leaning into their racism.
Oh, God.
And they said, you cast a black guy in this part, you're going to kill the foreign box office.
Oh, wow.
And Dean said it was a big war, but Roland really stood up for Will Smith. And he said he really, ultimately they won that war. Roland said it was pretty shortly before the shoot that they had not locked down Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. And he said he put his foot down, and Universal people are it's funny. He put his foot down and he's like threatening Fox, who, had the rights. He said, the Universal people are calling me every day. So give me these 2 actors or I move over there. And he's like, I actually don't think that was true, but it worked.
I have a question.
Yes.
I think this is a good take.
Yes.
Will Smith wants to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
However,
Yes.
He walks out on his lawn and starts reading the paper, which no one reads the paper on their lawn, and doesn't notice the gigantic fucking spaceship up in the sky.
Do you think I'm a smart person?
Yes.
I walk the same way to work every day. The same path every single day.
You would notice a spaceship, Anna.
Hold on. On the way into work, I go down the alley because it's the easiest way to get to the back.
Hey,
entrance.
Nuggers, listen up. This bitch walks down the alley every day.
Not anymore. But I previously, up until this moment, walked down the alley, and there is a dumpster, like a cardboard, like recycling dumpster that's right there right at the corner where I would go. And there's just a tiny little bar that sticks out of it. And I have bumped my shoulder into that, causing a large bruise, which I do 100 times. I'm not quite sure how many times I've bumped into it, but I forget that it's there because I'm just not paying attention. I'm looking at my feet to make sure that I don't trip over a rock because I'm clumsy. I would fall. So instead of tripping over a rock, I bump into the thing that I've literally bumped into dozens of times before. I'm saying that people aren't always like spatially aware.
This is nonsense that you're saying. Will Smith has noticed that all of his neighbors are leaving.
Yeah.
But he pauses and starts reading the paper on his lawn, which people don't do, and doesn't notice the gigantic spaceship in the sky.
You know who does that? Reads their papers on the lawn?
Who?
Future astronauts.
Bullshit.
They're curious.
No. They go and they sit down at their table and they get their coffee.
I'm sorry, they're what?
Their coffee.
Their coffee?
Yeah.
Do you think she's a smart woman?
I do. I think...
Oh, because she didn't notice it either.
I know. I've got that in my notes.
But she's an intelligent woman.
I'm saying that she wants this person to be the father of her child to notice when he could be in danger and he can't notice a spaceship in the sky.
Neither did
and she
she.
should trust him.
Neither did she.
Listen, we're supposed to find somebody who plays to our weaknesses. And if neither one of them can notice a spaceship, they should not be together.
Vivica A. Fox plays Jasmine Dubrow. She is an exotic dancer, and she is the girlfriend to Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller. That's Will Smith. Can I tell you about her casting a little bit?
Does it have to do with the fact that she's fucking gorgeous?
She is fucking gorgeous. She says she had to audition 6 times to get it.
Bullshit.
And she said, you're really going to hate this shit.
Great.
She said that she went into the audition with like a white jumpsuit with heels and makeup to show them that she had like a good body because she's an exotic dancer, right? So she wanted to show them, that she's hot. And she said when they finished, the casting director said, this is a quote, "The character is a stripper. I see you've got a nice little body here in that white jumpsuit, but that's just what she does for a living. She's a mom. I want you to go and watch Speed and look at the way Sandra Bullock is dressed and how she carries herself." So Vivica A. Fox says, I watched Speed, and then I went and got a cute little dress with ruffles and some combat boots and some ankle socks. And as soon as I walked in, the casting director said, "You did your homework. Good girl."
Oh my God, there's 12 things that are problematic with that.
Yeah. Can I tell you one more thing? You're gonna go, huh? The casting director was a woman.
No, that does not surprise me because women are not always great to women, and it drives me insane.
When I was picturing it, I 100% pictured a skeezy white guy.
Of course.
But it was a skeezy white
No,
woman,
women
probably.
don't build women up enough. That's why I try to objectify them as much as possible in this podcast, and I think I do a pretty good job.
You definitely do. There's a scene right around here where Jeff Goldblum and Harvey Fierstein are talking, and Harvey's like, I got to call my lawyer, or I got to call my mom. I got to call this. He goes, I got to call my lawyer. And he goes, forget my lawyer. And it looks and sounds kind of weird. Mm-hmm. And that's because he's clearly saying, fuck my lawyer.
Oh, they had to keep the F words to a minimum.
To get out of that R rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can see it. When you see it, you're like, oh, God, that's really blatant.
At the beginning of Twister,
yeah,
Helen Hunt says the F word, and you can you can't hear it, but you can see it.
Helen Hunt.
I wonder how many times we say the F word.
Oh.
What do we average? Probably 3.
What's our over-under? 20?
20. I bet it's over.
That's sweet. That's sweet of me to think. Speaking of naive people, the president tells everyone to evacuate and leave in an orderly fashion. So, of course, that means mass hysteria.
And, of course, they have to warn the dumbasses not to shoot at the spaceships. This on the news, and once again, people, don't shoot. Only in America do you have to warn people to not shoot at a spaceship.
100%. That's the most realistic thing. Remember when there was the hurricanes, those nasty hurricanes, and they had to tell people to stop shooting into the hurricanes? I'm saying people are fucking stupid. There's a bit of a lead up to this where Jeff Goldblum is like a Cassandra and trying to warn people, but they don't give a shit. And then the aliens blow a lot of shit up. Like a lot. Mm-hmm. And Vivica her name's Jasmine. Jasmine and her son are just barely able to escape the destruction, and their dog just barely makes it with them, which is kind of the only thing that test audiences seem to care about. Like, they did not care about all the people dying, but they were getting real upset at the thought that the dog was not going to make it.
Read my mind. What do I think of every time a dog gets forgotten in a movie?
Is it, you go back there and you find that fucking dog.
You got responsibility. And then also in that scene, the fire goes around a car.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen.
Fire's sneaky.
Fire is not sneaky.
It is.
Fire's
I saw Backdraft.
pretty straightforward.
No, I saw Backdraft, and it killed Billy Baldwin, and I know how sneaky it is. July 3rd. And the aliens really did a number on us.
Whoa.
Yes.
They had no sense of urgency about getting the First Lady on the helicopter.
She was being resistant.
You pick that bitch up and you get her on the helicopter. She's the First Lady.
She's just like the president. She just, they're just stubborn.
No.
Yeah.
No, and everybody knows.
You mean like literally pick her up?
Yes, you get her on the helicopter if she's dicking around. If this is Madeline and she's like, oops, I got to go to the bathroom and there's an alien ship, do you go, okay? No, you pick her ass up and you throw her in the car.
Is that what you do with my daughter?
Yeah, when I need to get somewhere.
Next up, July 3rd. And the aliens really did a number on us. And Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller.
Wait, can we go back a second?
Sure.
Because I have in my notes, we've already had a scene where we meet Harry Connick Jr. I have in my notes somewhere, is this how men talk to each other? Because they are super close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're never going to get into NASA if you marry a stripper.
He's saying that's what the man thinks. Mm-hmm. That's why they denied his request to be an astronaut.
But I would like people to, I see lots of men talk to each other. That is very close.
Well, the scene where he picks up the engagement ring that falls out and he's like holding him, he's like, this is a wedding ring, and the guy comes in. That is a funny ass scene.
That's the scene I'm talking about.
I know. It's really funny.
I don't think so. I like when the kid's like, what happened, mommy? And she's like, I don't know, baby. How about you say a gigantic fucking alien ship blew everything to bits and we're screwed?
No.
You don't say that?
I just say, I don't know to my kids. Like,
and
what
so then
happened?
when they're like,
when something traumatic, it's like, you just go, I don't know.
the kid's like, well, I'm pretty sure I saw an alien ship blow everything up.
Nope, mystery to me.
No,
Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller and several other military personnel are off to try and attack the aliens back, which is hilarious. Let's talk about a fucking fool's errand. And hey, his pilot friend is yummy Harry Connick Jr. Oh, yum. I know you're about to attack him, so I'm going to very quickly say,
okay.
I have a very special space in my heart where Harry Connick Jr. lives for eternity. It has since I found out about him in the 90s, and there he shall stay until the day I draw my last breath.
Okay.
So do you want to talk about him now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put my mic on mute and drink my wine and try not to go into a rage.
Okay. One question I have. What exactly is the point of this stupid fucking mission? And then I have in my notes, oh fuck. And this is in reference to Harry Connick Jr. Is that a white guy doing an impersonation of Jesse Jackson?
As the good Reverend would say, why we're on this particular mission, we'll never know. But I do know here today that the Black Knights will emerge victorious once again.
He believes that that speech was very important, and he wanted to represent it correctly, and Will Smith agreed.
He did an impersonation of Jesse Jackson.
You can't impersonate a person? I impersonate people all the time.
Yeah, and we have to apologize every fucking week.
Harry Connick Jr.'s character apologized by dying.
Okay, My plane expert, the one that I consulted about this movie, also said that it is really dumb that they have their oxygen masks on because they are cruising at low altitude and you would never need to wear their oxygen masks.
Who's your plane expert?
Ty?
Don't you think he has a little bit of a bias?
No, he said that there is no reason to have your oxygen mask when you're at that. You don't need oxygen mask on when you're below 10,000 feet.
How is he a plane expert? Yeah, I understand he was in the military. He's in the Navy.
He knows every morning he gets up and he watches videos about the military. He's a fucking nerd.
Yeah. So he knows about oxygen masks and planes?
Yes. Turn around.
I know.
Look what's behind you.
I don't care.
It's all books about military and planes and shit.
I don't see a single one that's like oxygen masks and me.
You can't see a pipe sticking out that you walk by every day.
Every day.
Question.
Oh, already?
How? Oh, God. Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay.
I just realized... No, I'm recording all right. I just realized I think I might have spelled... Every single time I spelled missiles in my notes, I'm pretty sure I spelled it like mistletoe.
Oh, God. I hope so. I love mistletoe. And Christmas. You know I love Christmas. Traditional Christmas.
You know I love a mistletoe.
Here's my question. The first time they see the bombs don't work, why don't they bounce the fuck out of there?
Because they're on a mission. I don't remember. Their superior did not say abort yet. None of the missiles, and that's not mistletoes, can make it through the ship because the aliens were smart enough to come with a fucking sweet shield. And also a shitload of little ships.
Okay, well, do you know what happened?
Well, unfortunately, Harry Connick Jr.'s character is a little too funny and likable, so of course he has to die.
We lose next level jazz snack, Harry Connick Jr.
Oh my God.
And that's the day the music died.
Agreed.
Jazz snack.
Harry
Connick Jr.
I hope that's the name of his next album. Okay, well, Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller is able to shoot one of the alien ships down.
Oh, I got some questions about this.
And opens it up, and then he punches the alien and insert Will Smith slap joke.
No.
Oh, good.
I'm not, that's low-hanging fruit. I've got A, how does he know how to open their ship? B, who punches a goddamn alien?
There's a button on it. I saw it.
There's not a button on it.
Yeah. It says open. But an alien. But you know what? I know how.
Mm.
He was trained to be an astronaut. And part of astronaut training, I am positive, requires you to learn many languages, and that means languages on Earth and also extraterrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
And that just happened to be one of the languages that he's fluent in. Mm-hmm. And it said open or close, and he's like, boop, open.
No.
That's how he's able to fly the ship later.
Because you know what would happen?
Oh.
In the introduction of how to be an astronaut manual, it says, do you see this big picture? And the picture is an alien ship in the sky. If you don't notice this, do not get to chapter 1. You do not pass go.
Just because he has a difficult time with spatial awareness does not mean he can't read an alien language.
I think having a poor aptitude to spatial, whatever you said, is a disqualifier to being an astronaut.
I think your inability to follow along my terms disqualifies your point. He was apparently wonderful on set.
I don't doubt that. He is good on set in general.
At one point, they are in the salt flats or whatever, and they were filming, and they were and it was apparently 120 degrees. It was something insane. So they brought in the stand-ins to be there so that they could go under a tent and be nice. And Will Smith marched his ass out there, and he's like, stand-ins leave. And then all the other actors kind of followed suit, and it set a precedent. On Air Force One, they're all arguing because the military wants to fire nukes at the spaceship, at the Big Daddy. But Jeff Goldblum / David thinks that that's crazy because it is. And then his dad, Judge Hirsch, is like, Roswell, am I right? Mm-hmm. And it turns out he's right. Mm-hmm. Area 51 was real.
If the president doesn't know about it. If I was president, day one, I would say, I want all the information about Area 51.
No, it's just that smarmy fucker from the Department of Defense. They were keeping that shit under wraps. It was like, that was on a need-to-know basis, and they weren't telling any of the presidents. They were keeping that in the DOD.
Are you trying to tell me that the president doesn't need to know that at a remote location in New Mexico, they have the bodies of aliens and also, by the way, an alien spaceship? The president doesn't need to know that?
Sounds like it. It's a need to know. They didn't need to know before, but he needs to know now, which is why he heard it now.
That's stupid.
Brent Spiner is the head scientist at Area 51,
Oh.
where there is indeed a spaceship and alien.
That the president wasn't briefed on 2 years before.
Yeah, he just had other shit going on. I can't remember where I saw it, but I had heard that Brent Spiner, I think he wouldn't agree to play Data on Star Trek. I don't know if it was the TV show or like a movie. Insurrection came out about that same time.
Okay.
Which we went to go see. Anyway, I think he was getting a little tired of playing that role. So he said he would only do that if he was guaranteed, maybe in a contract, that he would play in at least 2 movies that were not in the same. He didn't want to be. He was really worried he was going to be typecast. So he said, I want to play something that's completely different and it needs to be guaranteed. And this year he played in Independence Day and Phenomenon. And I didn't watch the sequel to this, which there was a sequel to this, by the way.
I watched the new one.
I think that's it, right?
Oh, is that what you're talking about? The one that came out a couple years ago?
I think so. Several of the people returned. Bill Pullman returned, I think.
I thought it was entertaining.
Brent Spiner is in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's an Easter egg or like a deleted scene where it shows that he lives through this.
I'm not saying it was good, but I thought it was entertaining.
I didn't watch it. I'm so sorry. Well, Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller shows up to Area 51, where most of our other main players are, and he brings the alien he shot down with him, and he finds out that his military base, El Toro, has been destroyed. And I looked up El Toro, and it is, in fact, no longer around. I'm 80% sure it's not because of aliens.
No one is good at giving bad news in this. They're like, El Toro has been completely destroyed. And he's like, oh, soften the blow a little bit.
I mean, they've got bigger shit to...
He's clearly not going to be in NASA because he can't spot a spaceship.
And, discrimination, right?
Vivica's, of course, getting fucking everything done and looking gorgeous. In full makeup and hair, by the way.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Some people are just naturally beautiful.
In full makeup and hair.
She's got the look
of someone who has spent an hour and a half in hair and makeup.
Scientist Brent Spiner and his team go to do an autopsy on the alien that Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller.
But there's 50 of these fucking military guys around and no one's like standing around to shoot the unpredictable alien in case it starts acting a fool.
They all thought it was dead.
How many times in the military you talk about contingency? How about a contingency in case the alien is just playing possum and is getting ready to fucking kill everybody is what happened?
You think that alien playing possum is in like the military guidebook?
I think that people in the military are not shy about getting their guns out and killing things.
Ugh.
So it might have been handy to have a couple of those fellas around just in case the alien was playing possum.
Okay, scientist Brent Spiner and his team go to do an autopsy on the alien brought in, but unfortunately the alien wasn't actually dead. He was playing possum, like you said, because it's a snake. It's still a sneaky snake. The alien kills all of the techs except for Brent Spiner, who the alien uses as a voice box to communicate with them. And President Weakspine tells the alien, how about a truce? How about we give peace a chance? And the alien's like, not a fucking chance, hippie. Fuck you. Fuck humans. We're taking your planet. Peace, I'm out.
This alien has no chill. It's like, die.
What can we do to make you happy? Die. Die.
It's like the alien didn't even try to pretend like they were going to make friends. They're like,
no. Direct. I like it. Direct approach. They then try to nuke the alien ship. And that's hilarious. Because the only thing it did is give Americans a radioactive fallout. Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller steals a helicopter and finds both his girlfriend and the First Lady.
He just happens upon them. It's just silly.
He found them. He is a smart Marine pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Stephen Hiller. The First Lady is there, and I hope nobody's getting attached to her because she's about to die.
Question.
Yo. Oh.
This is dumb.
Was dumb.
This lady is bleeding internally,
Yeah.
and we're supposed to believe that she's going to stay alive for a day and a half?
Mm-hmm.
This bitch is not making it to Alienville. She dead.
Man, talk about perseverance through adversity.
You don't persevere when you're bleeding from the inside out.
Perseverance. Hang in there.
She's not a kitty cat hanging from a tree.
Hang in there.
That's dumb.
You know, each day is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
And Mae Whitman is the chillest child ever. She literally takes everything in stride.
She is confused. She is traumatized. I'm sorry. Didn't you say that people react to trauma in all kinds of different ways and we can't predict how somebody's going to deal with trauma? And this seems like really traumatic, especially for a child that doesn't understand what's going on.
Anna, there's a spaceship hovering over her house.
Yes.
They whisk her away. She's chill. They throw her on Air Force One. She's chill. They throw her in an alien bunker. She's chill. Her mom comes in and probably should have been dead a day and a half ago. And she's just like, Mommy's getting ready to go sleep. She's chill.
You say chill. I say shock. I say she's in shock. Remember, you can be in shock long past, apparently,
here we
long
go.
past when one would expect to be over from shock. That you can, it was, remember, shock was like a year later, according to you. And one of the other things, and this is a child in shock. Really, I'm appalled
First of
that
all,
you would even go there.
do not bring my words against me. How dare you? And I don't remember saying that, second of all. And this is silly. They could at least have her be like a little sad. She's like, is Mommy asleep? And he's like, yep. She's like, okay, I'm going to go play with my new friend.
How is she supposed to be sad? You just said, is she asleep? And they said, yeah. She just thinks her mom is asleep. She doesn't know. Why are you giving me this look like she should know better? She's a little child.
You know this is silly.
She is a baby.
She's a baby that's had 12 milligrams of Valium.
You are putting some serious expectations on this little girl. What is wrong with you?
It's silly. Jeff Goldblum's drunken rant is like me every time my margarita glass is empty.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I will kill everything.
He's definitely convincingly drunk.
I have a question.
Yes?
What does Jeff Goldblum decide to do to stop the aliens? What's his solution?
Give it a cold.
Leave it to a man to think giving something a cold is the worst possible thing to happen. Like, not a fucking cold.
Oh, perish the thought. I mean, have you ever seen a man with a cold?
I know. A woman would be like,
Speaking of trauma.
give us some cramps and have it deliver birth. They're like, a cold? Oh, no.
Oh, that cough looks dreadful.
How will they ever survive?
Sure hope you don't have the consumption. Well, it's actually his dad that says something to Dave about catching a cold, and he's like, oh, a cold? That sounds horrible and the worst thing in the world. So he suggests that they take the spaceship that crash landed in the 50s and fly it into the mothership and give it a computer virus. It's a cold. And then they and then if they do that, it'll drop the shields of all the ships hovered. You see this? They're hovered above the cities so that everyone can attack them around the world and hopefully destroy them. And then Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller offers to be the one to fly it. And Jeff Goldblum wants to go with him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you have something to say about Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller?
No. I love that you're skimming over the part where they communicate with every other country using Morse code. Like these super advanced aliens couldn't figure this shit out.
Yeah, complicated.
I think I could figure out Morse code. And the other day I couldn't figure out the age difference between Ty and I.
I'm going to dots and dashes on my desk and tell you to go fuck yourself.
Wait, oh, well, fuck you too. See, I learned it already.
Am I the only one that thought it was Morse code for like forever?
It's Morse code.
Yeah, Morse.
Morse.
Like remorse.
Uh-huh.
Like I have remorse about doing this episode. No, I don't. I really don't.
I'm having a great time.
No, I thought it was Morris, like Morris the cat. Now I know it's not. And your laugh says that was ridiculous.
Okay.
And I shouldn't speak those
Like,
thoughts out loud.
He's like, this is the strongest radio transmitter we could get in all of the United States. With all of their resources. They get this shitty radio transmitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what it looks like? A giant metal dildo. I took a picture of it because I was waiting for your stupid take like, Look, I had my closed captioning on. It's the strongest radio transmitter we can get. Don't act like you're not impressed.
Wow. My goodness. Do we mention a dong in every single episode? Because it's kind of starting to feel like that.
Listen, movies are just chock full of dongs. I can't even get into how absurd the flying the alien spaceship is. I'm just going to drink now.
Oh, good. Well, the military is trying to find pilots locally that they can use to attack once the shields are down. And lucky, Randy Quaid's like, I gotcha. I'm a pilot. And also the president's a pilot. You didn't know that because they didn't indicate that ever.
In case you were listening the 700 times they mentioned it already.
Also, he's very honest.
Yeah.
Well, the president is about to give a rousing speech. You ready to get roused? Dean Devlin, the writer of this movie, said the president's speech said the director told him just like write something for now and it'll be temporary. We'll work on it later. So he like just quickly, put something together. And then they were getting ready to shoot that scene. And the writer was like, oh, fuck. He's like, I never rewrote it. He's like, I kind of forgot that I was supposed to like do something with that. And I get it because I do that all the time.
Like the person writing the screenplay for this movie.
Like me writing my notes for this.
Like mistletoe.
Yes. The Dean Devlin, the writer, was like, oh no, I didn't do the speech. And Bill Pullman's rehearsing it. And everybody's like, wow, this is great. Like all the extras and stuff for listening to it. And like, I'm roused as shit. They said that he said that they were like in the middle of still like fighting with the studio because the studio wanted to change. Oh, I remember the studio wanted to change the movie. They wanted to call it Doomsday. Remember I told you it was something stupid. So the writer came in and he was like, change the last line to today we celebrate our Independence Day. And that way they can kind of tie that in with the release date and, we can make sure that that's the name of the movie and not that's Doomsday bullshit. And that's the only change to the speech that he made. Jeff Goldblum and Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller take off in the spaceship. A little rocky start. And he's like, oops.
This is so dumb.
They get into the mothership in their stolen alien spaceship.
Which there's no fucking way he knows how to fly.
He can read alien language. We've already been over this.
Here we go.
And then they upload the virus into the alien's computer mainframe.
cold.
It totally works, except that there's way too many ships to fight. And the military pilots, they realize that to win, they're going to have to fire a missile. They fire the missile, as I have it spelled, into the big ship's glowing poop hole. And Randy Quaid realizes that he's going to have to fly his plane into the sphincter ship with a missile. Oh, I spelled it right. It works. And he dies a hero. Unfortunately for Jeff Goldblum and Marine pilot Captain Stephen Hiller, their ship gets stuck. So they think that they're fucked. And then they shoot a nuke into the mothership, and then they race to fly out of the mothership, which they do, barely, thank God. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't survive.
They survived. If you have, everyone that's listening to this has probably seen this movie. Go back, fast forward to the part where they get through from the mothership, and they crash, and they start walking toward. Watch Jeff Goldblum's walk. It is hysterical.
What?
He's got this kind of like swagger.
He does have swagger.
It is so funny. It is so awkward.
Awkward?
Watch it.
That's called the Goldblum strut.
No, it is not. No. He doesn't want that shit named after him.
There are YouTube videos on how to do it, I bet. I'm going to watch the scene so I can learn how to do it. I'm going to Goldberg strut all over the place, and you're going to love it. You're going to go, oh, wow, she got cool all of a sudden. And be like, yeah, because I watched a YouTube video about Jeff Goldblum and his walk. I thought it was awesome.
I'll take a video of it.
I'm going to do it forever, and I probably won't bump any more goddamn dumpsters. They die. No, sorry. They don't die. Shit.
This is the director's cut.
You know what happened? Is I looked down at my notes, and it just says, as heroes, and I'm like, well, they must have died.
Under the mistletoe.
Aw, cute. I love a mistletoe. But here they are. They land in the desert. They're heroes. As heroes, not dead. Strutting like badasses. And the end.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
I think I had good takes.
I think you did have good takes.
Thank you.
I agree with that. Oh, fuck. I didn't tell you about a really important piece of trivia.
Well, say it.
They got a call, and they're like, hold please for the White House. And it was a call from that Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton and Hillary wanted them to come to the White House to watch the movie, which they did. So I know Bill Pullman was there. I can't remember what all cast was there, but the directors, like they were like, come sit next, Bill Clinton's like,
He said to Vivica A. Fox.
I think the director to come over, and he was like, I was too nervous. I think he was like, I'm German. I can't. No, I'm serious. That's what he said. I'm German. I'm too nervous. I'm too nervous, yeah. I can't sit next to the president.
I was going way too fast.
I was going very too fast. Bow, bow. So instead, they had Bill Pullman go and sit. And oddly, he ended up sitting sandwiched between Bill and Hillary. They said that Bill Clinton had the biggest tub of popcorn they'd ever seen in his life. So that is all of the trivia and all I've got. I really appreciated you not going after any like the one-liners and stuff.
No, this movie, like Twister, you can't take these movies seriously.
No.
You can enjoy the patriotism. You can enjoy, there's things that you can enjoy about it and just not take it too seriously.
You know what I can't believe out of all of this?
What? That there was a big metal dildo hanging from the alien ship?
No, I expected that. You see one metal dong, you've seen them all. And good Lord, I've seen so many. I am surprised you didn't say anything about Bill Pullman being Bill Paxton.
Well, it goes without being said. I'm telling you, this guy can survive anything.
You have grown as a person. Well, what do you want to see? What do you want to hear from people?
I love to hear people's favorite action movies. The ones that people say are ridiculous, I really want to hear about those. I've asked this like 4 times and no dice yet. I really want to hear people say how much they want us to do Armageddon.
I'm not doing Armageddon. God damn it.
Come on, people, give me what I want.
I want to miss this thing. I don't give a shit what Aerosmith says. I usually would say, I want to hear like blah, 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 blah from people. I just want to hear from people. We love it. I love talking with people. I'm always delighted when somebody writes in. That makes me happy. You can get a hold of us very, very easily. We are on Split Happens Pod on all of the socials. We're also at splithappenspod.com. That's our website. Well, thanks, Katrina Porter. This was a blast. I can't wait to Goldblum strut out of this studio.
It was a blast. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.